Well, last week we talked about that original 1978 Halloween, where Michael Myers runs amok in Haddonfield. Well, guess what? It's 2018 now, bro, and things ain't changing, because it's Michael Myers coming back to cause more Haddonfield chaos in the 2018 Halloween. How does this measure up to the original? Well, tune in and find out on a very spooky Halloween edition of The Review. I have something for you, Michael.
Michael! I don't know.
Michael!
I'm like never prepared for that segment.
It comes up every time, Troy.
Welcome to the Review, a show where two small town dudes give you our big 40 years later opinions. I am Troy Max, so I'm already ending this show.
And I was JT3K.
And how them levels over there?
Oh no, I'm just messing with the headphone
All right.
volume because I felt like I couldn't hear myself. And you know me, I'm just so into myself. I need to hear myself at all times.
Makes sense.
I love the sound of my voice.
You are correct, JT. In that opening, we are going over the newest Halloween.
Yeah.
To be once now differentiated between Halloween 1978,
and
Halloween Rob Zombie, and Halloween this one.
How many? Yeah. I'm just going to name a movie Halloween that has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
It's called Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Halloween just by itself.
Great. So we'll get into that at the hot top of the hour. Before we get into some nice stabbing opinions about this newest Halloween movie. Why don't we stalk the news?
Let's see how long you keep these puns up, Troy.
In this very haunting edition of the review. The review Raboo.
That's right. We did we do like a Raboo?
I think we did that last year. Because we're super original.
We are.
Insert Halloween name here on Twitter. Here we go. Hot news that came out, JT, right after last week's news.
Yeah.
Iron Fist was canceled. Now Luke Cage is canceled.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Now, we both watched season 2 of Luke Cage, and we even reviewed it here on this show.
We did.
Of the season
You
2.
were in the middle of finishing it when I came in to do the review.
That's right. So, and we both thought it ended very interestingly.
Yeah, it had an ending that I wanted to actually see how it played out.
It flipped the script.
It did,
mind you.
And now it's gone.
Apparently, we'll never see what happens after that.
No.
But you think this is a big work?
I think it. Well, now I'm on either side. I can see either side of it playing out, where they actually, it's a publicity stunt or they actually canceled it, because I think Netflix is moving around a lot of their money because they're getting prepared for all these streaming services coming in 2019. Because I know like Apple, I think, is trying to start one. Disney's starting one.
Yeah.
So I think
apparently Warner Brothers is starting.
Yeah,
one
Warner
too.
Brothers is probably starting one. So like as they pretty much had all this time to just experiment and see what people wanted, now they're actually getting serious and like, we need to put shit out there that people want. So now they're trimming the fat on a lot, because a lot of stuff that they have out there that's getting canceled, like Orange is the New Black's canceled.
Yeah.
House of Cards is getting canceled
For different reasons.
Yeah, but still, it's getting canceled. And then you had Iron Fist and Luke Cage getting canceled, and so I think they're just, in that sense, they're preparing for actually trying in terms of getting shows out there people want to see. But on the other sense, I can also see this being a big publicity stunt where, like, in the next couple of weeks, they're like, Heroes for Hire comes out in 2 weeks.
Right.
The combination of Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Where it's like, Oh, you fuckhead.
Yeah. I can definitely see both those. At first, I thought it was just because maybe Luke Cage season 2 didn't produce as many numbers as they wanted.
Yeah.
Which I could see because after Defenders kind of like flopped after Iron Fist,
yeah.
it's like probably a lot of people were like, yeah, I'll catch that whenever.
Yeah.
Instead of like binging it all the first weekend, so they're like, oh, I don't know. But I do think also now that Disney has 60% of Hulu, and I don't think this could happen because I think Netflix has the rights to these characters to use.
Yeah.
That Disney would just put them on Hulu, have their own streaming app that's all their Disney stuff, but have their like rated R type stuff on Hulu.
Yeah.
Which they could still do because they'll have a controlling majority of that streaming service too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's the biggest stretch that I've heard out there.
Well, from what I've heard, Netflix is still like, it's like their deal. Like they still own the shit. And I think one of the big things they're going to be looking at is just seeing how Daredevil does.
As far as I know,
season
it's
3
going pretty well.
So I think they're seeing that to see if they actually stick with the characters they still have available. Because I'll talk more about it in what I've been watching, but I've started Daredevil season 3, and you don't need to know a lot from all the other shows to get into it. I think there's like one or two things that are addressed in this season that wasn't part of like Daredevil season 1.
Okay.
Like pretty much all you really need to watch for Daredevil season 3 is Daredevil season 1. You can even skip 2 if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, follow up on that a little later.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. You know what? If they did introduce like a Heroes for Hire and they just did one season of it, what's the harm in it?
Yeah. But the way they ended Luke Cage, it's like is it just going to be like how are they going to get into it?
I still feel like they could, like Danny was a part of Luke Cage, at least an episode of it.
Yeah.
They could cross paths here and there. It could be like a whole I'm going to spoil a little bit of the end of Luke Cage, but he could be the next pretty much kingpin of this little Harlem.
Yeah.
So, not the kingpin, but this little new mini big boss of all the underground kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he could do that side while like Danny's maybe trying to go against him, and they team up and they fight like a bigger foe.
There you go.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Nobody. But staying on the Netflix train, JT.
Yes.
Got a little bit more news on here. Netflix is going strong. Like it's up there with one of the big dogs now.
Yeah.
We've already been commenting on that.
Yep.
It's got Emmys.
Yes.
It has an Oscar for that Icarus documentary.
That's right. Yeah.
It's got Film Festival Awards.
Yeah.
And their own original series are actually really hitting their stride, I think, especially in this year.
Mm-hmm.
And winning audiences over pretty much hand over fist.
Good.
So CNBC did some research and reported that Netflix is on track to add about 28 million subscribers this year.
Ooh.
To what they already have.
Shit.
And that's more than HBO has made in 40 years.
Oh, damn.
And I just reading that number, I thought it was newsworthy enough to even say. Just in this year alone, Netflix. You would think everybody has Netflix at this point, but they're adding 28 million more subs.
Yeah.
And that's more than HBO's ever had in the combined 40 years that it's been out. That's pretty intense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Netflix needs to make up for what? They've got like $2 or $4 billion in like content they're making right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, they need to make that up somehow. And like a lot of the shit on there is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm almost proposing, like, if you ever get into it, we need to do a review on Hill House for like one of our mini ups because it is so fucking good.
Okay.
Like I'm almost done with it, and it's Jesus Christ. Like every episode is just it. Like it's very rare when I'm getting into a show where it's like I just need to keep watching. I need to watch the next one. Don't touch me. Get off me. Don't touch me right now.
So, and am always just shocked when you go in there and you just see how many original things they have.
Oh, I know.
It's a plethora.
It's completely
of things.
overtaking like all of the other stuff on, and then the other stuff on there is like fun too. Like
Right.
I like just going through their movies and then like just they have some of the most random shit in terms of like the movies they put on there. Where it's like, oh sure, I'll fall asleep watching the King's Speech.
Yeah. But anything that you scroll through, like, obviously they're going to promote that stuff more than, like, all the other stuff.
Yeah, but the fact that it's still an option that they have that other stuff on there is pretty fun.
Right. Everything has that little Netflix logo right in the corner.
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
Like, God damn.
Yeah.
They really went whole hog.
I know. They even have, like, their section when you're like just scrolling through the stuff, and then they have like their Netflix originals things. There's this big rectangle that overtakes everything else, where it's like, well, you could watch this, or you could watch this.
I actually really like that layout, though. It looks really cool, and then you pause on it, and it'll play the trailer. Right
Then it expands and plays the trailer. Yeah,
really well thought out.
Yeah.
Netflix is a pretty well thought out app.
Yeah,
it's the cleanest of all the streaming services.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Yep. Yeah,
for sure. Off the Netflix news, I'm done with it. Netflix, you're done.
Get the fuck off of here.
You suck. You stink. Not really. We just praised you.
Quit being so goddamn good.
We just coddled your balls for like the last 20 minutes.
I'm already pulling the pubic hair out of my teeth.
Wonder Woman. Do you hear this, JT? Got pushed back.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
A later release.
Yeah.
It was originally scheduled for December of next year.
Yeah.
And then it got moved ahead to November of next year.
Yeah.
But then it got pushed out to June of 2020.
Yeah. It makes me think that they have a lot of faith in it then if they're gonna put it out in a summer release.
Well, here's what they didn't want to compete against.
Yeah.
So in December of 2019, Episode 9 is coming out for Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck with that.
That'll be a big deal, and you don't want to go really head
especially
to head with
if it's like the end of this trilogy.
Exactly. And so they didn't want to compete with that, and so when they moved it to November to come out a month earlier, November of next year has a fucking stacked.
Really?
Like maybe something that wouldn't necessarily compete with Wonder Woman, but a lot is coming out. And I took a screenshot of it just to show you.
Okay.
So, it moved because it has Terminator 6 coming out, a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which will get a lot of kids going to see it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Kingsman 3,
which
I didn't know. Frozen 2.
Holy shit.
And an untitled Fox Marvel film.
Okay. Which
I don't know what it could be.
Yeah.
Maybe the New Mutants?
Yeah, who knows?
Who freaking knows? So yeah, that's all coming out in just November. And so to get out of the clutter of that, they went to go to a June 2020 release.
Yeah.
Which it still has a little bit going against it.
Yeah.
But it only is Top Gun 2 and some new Pixar film. And still...
I can see that being like counter-programming for that stuff, though.
And Wonder Woman is going to be coming out before them.
Okay, yep. So it'll pick up all that shit there, and then some of the residuals from then on, they'll definitely get.
Yeah, so I think it was a smart move.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of reshuffling of films, like,
I know.
This last couple weeks.
I know. I'm trying to like keep up with the schedule a little bit to kind of like plan ahead for like possible shows we can do in the future, and then it's like I have to like completely throw everything away because it's just they keep changing everything up.
Right. I mean, I don't pay a huge attention to all that kind of stuff, but when it moves around all that, I'm like, I just want to know the strategies of all that stuff. That makes me really interested. That's why I even looked any of this up anyway.
And the summer is such a crapshoot too, because it's like, especially you saw this year where there's so many things that fucking bombed.
Yeah.
Because it's like Marvel pretty much takes over everything, and then you get like the few things here and there. So it's like it's a crapshoot. It's like so much stuff is out, you can't really plan on whether or not your movie's gonna make enough to sustain.
Yeah. Especially when Marvel comes out with their Avengers movies, like why even be in the same month?
Don't even release your movie in the same month.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised Deadpool 2 came out 2 weeks after the Avengers movie.
I know.
It still did well.
Yeah.
But, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like, pretty much nothing but smaller films that you don't really give a shit. You're gonna be number 2.
Right. And it's gonna be way number 2.
Yeah.
Last bit of news that I got, JT. So load your little notebook up over there.
Okay. Thanks for being pandering, I guess. Your little thing you got there, go ahead and do that.
Your little cute little notebook over there.
Stupid piece of shit.
Did you see the picture of Gotham's Bane that was put up online? Looks like a stupid...
It looks like somebody made a costume out of microwave parts.
He's like a puckering butthole. That's what he looks like. He looks so dumb.
Shit.
It's the dumbest looking thing I've seen. It's like a mixture, like, yeah, exactly. Somebody kicked in a microwave and like put on scrap parts and mixed it to the Dark Knight Rises costume. That's what it looks like.
I was born in the kitchen.
1800 watts. Yeah, it's so I look at it.
Set me at popcorn.
It looks fucking stupid as hell, and I'm not into it. That's the last little jab I want to take at Gotham.
Well, aren't you sad that we're not reviewing Gotham anymore?
Season 5.
Good Lord, 5?
Yeah.
I'm so glad we changed formats.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that shit for 5 years.
We would have learned our lesson, I would hope.
Yeah.
Christ. 2 fucking stinkers in a row we did.
Man. So bad.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Joy, we got a Hollywood power couple.
Oh.
Hitting it up again. One more time.
Okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese.
Oh.
Doing a film together again. Are set to film a film called Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh.
Which is based on a book.
Okay.
That is supposed to be based on this man that murders a bunch of Native Americans on their land after they find out that they struck it rich with like oil on their land. This is like in like the 1930s too, and then it's like supposed to be like one of the FBI's first cases that they take on.
Oh boy.
So should be pretty interesting.
Sounds more interesting than the title suggests.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. DiCaprio and Scorsese coming back again. I always like their pairing. They're good.
Yeah. I can't think of anything that I'm like I would never watch.
Yeah. You've never seen Shutter Island, right?
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
But it's always on like my, if I see it, I'll watch it.
I would say that's probably the weakest of what they've worked on together, but it's still good. Like I said, I'm still like that movie The Aviator is probably the movie that made me a fan of DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Aviator is so fucking good.
Gilbert Grape didn't do it for you?
I mean, no. He was played like a mentally challenged kid in that too, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've really watched all of Gilbert Grape all the way through.
I've seen it all the way through.
I can't. I think it's too sad. Yeah, I think it's too sad when they burn the fat mom in her house.
It's sad. It's a sad movie.
Yeah, but no, Aviator is good.
All right. Do they burn a fat mom in it?
No, but DiCaprio grows a gross beard and watches a movie in a theater naked.
He's Howard Hughes, right?
And keeps saying, "Come in with the milk. Come in with the milk. Come in with the milk. Come in with the milk."
Just a line of people coming in with milk.
He's just, it's good.
All right.
We might have to do it sometime for a show. It's fun.
Isn't it like 3 hours long?
Like 2.5.
God. All right.
They finally put out a release date for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay.
Finally, for Amazon. They've been fucking teasing it for goddamn ever, but it's supposed to come out December 5th.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it. Me and Molly were following it. The first season was real good.
All right.
And now that it is a Emmy Award-winning TV show, there's going to be a lot of eyes on it this year.
Yours included?
Mine especially.
Oh, jeez. You betcha.
Yeah. So look out. But it's a good show. Definitely check it out.
What's that about again?
It's like a housewife that gets a divorce, and then in the middle of like a nervous breakdown, she goes to like an open mic and like kills it as a comedian.
Oh,
and
okay.
then some woman that's in comedy like takes her on as a manager, becomes her manager, and then tries to get her to become a comedian.
Okay, great. That's not at all what I thought. For whatever reason, I thought it was
good. It's good, and it like takes place like in the 1950s, I think. So it's like she's like the modern day housewife, but then she's doing all of this stuff that's like eccentric.
Nice.
And
nice.
Oh, what's her name from
Kathy Griffin.
Alex Borstein plays her manager.
Okay.
And she's really good in it.
Good.
Like, I haven't seen her in forever, and I'm like, the minute I saw her, oh god, I miss Alex Borstein. She's so good. She's so good. Troy, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I know you're the biggest fan of it.
Give me more of Pirates.
Well, how about a Pirates reboot?
Already?
Disney looking to reboot Pirates. Yeah, because Johnny Depp's too busy beating his wives now that he can't
too busy
be
being
doing
the big gay wizard or whatever, right?
Yeah, being the big gay wizard.
Isn't like he's supposed to be a big?
Yeah, he's supposed to be like Dumbledore's lover.
Yeah,
yeah, the big gay wizard, Johnny Depp. He said that like the biggest piece of shit too. Just like leaning against the table, like, what does he like that? He's like that big gay wizard, right?
Listen, I hate Johnny Depp. I didn't mean it to be derogatory in any other way. I've had enough of him. Every time I see a stupid face in that trailer, I'm like,
oh my god! I just wish everyone saw you. You just like look like just the biggest piece of shit. Like, what was he like that big gay wizard?
I'm gonna regret saying that. I know it.
No, it was good. It was good, Troy. We forgive you.
Great.
But then now a reboot is in the process for Pirates of the Caribbean, with being helmed by the writers of Deadpool.
Okay.
So there you go.
Whatever. Whatever. Those writers can't save pirates. Johnny Depp already shit all over it.
But it's rebooted now. We might get a new Captain Jack Sparrow.
Why? What haven't they told yet?
Well, it's a reboot, Troy. It's a reboot. Who would you want to see play Captain Jack Sparrow?
Nobody.
Okay, so he's an invisible man. Johnny Depp's gonna reprise his role as the Invisible Man from the Dark Universe.
That's right.
To play Captain Jack Sparrow.
Right. Crap.
Savvy.
Crap.
Sure, did you watch Disenchantment on Netflix?
I started it and I got pulled away from the first episode, and I just haven't been able to go back and finish it out yet.
Were you into what you saw?
I guess I saw 10 minutes of it.
Okay,
so
that's a lot.
No, I was waiting for it to really kick in.
Yeah. Well, good news for you, Troy. Whenever you get into it, a season 2 for Disenchantment has been announced for Netflix.
Okay, great.
So we're getting more Disenchantment.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Okay. God, how do you have all this time?
We don't have kids.
Yeah. Good point. Great.
Yeah, Disenchantment was good. I highly suggest it.
All right.
Especially, it's more along the lines of Futurama that is The Simpsons. It's definitely got more of a Futurama vibe.
Good.
So it's real fun.
Okay. Great. Good.
Still in the Netflix train, though, Troy. Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is a stop-motion film for Pinocchio in the works.
Okay.
Being helmed by Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, Jesus. Maybe a little bit of horror
maybe
in there.
There is some pretty horrific shit in Pinocchio.
Yeah.
When those kids turn into donkeys.
Yeah.
I think that scared me as a kid.
Yeah. It's scary, though, because the kids are terrified that they're turning into donkey people.
Yeah, and they're like yelling in horror, like as they're like turning into donkeys.
You
like,
see, like,
oh, And we're like, oh my god, it looks really painful to turn to a donkey.
You see like the shadowy silhouette against the wall of them transforming.
I know, they look like they're turning into were-donkeys.
Then they get swallowed by a whale.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit in Pinocchio.
I mean, a wooden doll comes to life. Just think of Guillermo del Toro having his spin on a wooden doll coming to life.
That's scary. Yeah.
And a little magical cricket.
That's even more horrifying.
Can you imagine the mandibles on that thing?
Horrifying.
A realistic looking cricket head just chirping at you.
Jesus.
God damn.
Get me out of this fucking world.
It's a horrible world.
Get me out of here.
You know how Guillermo did like fairy tales in Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah. Imagine that, but with a wooden doll.
Yeah, that comes to life like Chucky and turns into a donkey.
Yeah, I just want to see Guillermo del Toro remake Chucky and then say it's Pinocchio.
It's probably all going to be in Spanish, too. That's his thing, which I like.
Well, he hasn't made a lot of Spanish stuff lately.
No, but
Shape
what
of Water wasn't Spanish.
No, but chunks of it were in a different language, right?
I don't know.
Didn't the main lady speak a different language?
She spoke sign language.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's a different language. I'm not wrong.
She didn't speak Spanish sign language.
That'd be pretty sweet if there was Spanish sign language. There's like the little...
They put like the asterisks in Spanish.
Very good.
That's all my news, Troy.
I'm really tickling myself tonight, to tell you what.
Yeah, stop tickling yourself, Troy.
Okay, well then I'm done tickling myself.
Okay.
I didn't think there was a ton out for trailers.
No, I only found the one.
I have two.
All right.
One is the one I know we have the same one.
Yeah, because I watched it before we started.
I'm going to talk about this other one called The Prodigy. I think it came out last week, and we didn't talk about it. It's another horror film. I don't know when it's dropping, but the trailer is pretty much this little boy on this couch getting hypnotized by this metronome and this like hypnotist.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like he was trying to just get the boy to relax, and then at one point in the trailer, it seems like he's trying to maybe pull out a past life of the boy's by making him think and just drift off, so a past life of his can emerge out of his like body and talk through this boy.
Yeah.
And then it kind of cuts away from that, and then it's just like the like a little horror, like a little jump scare flash kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Then the mom waking up in bed, and then she sees like her boy standing at the end of the hallway, and he's like, "Mommy, I'm scared." And he's like, "Okay, come here." So the boy runs up to her and then crosses a shadow, and then out of the shadow jumps a full-grown man and attacks the mom, because it must have been the thing that came out of him from a hypnotist or whatever. So it's an interesting premise, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know much else about it besides that. I just told you the whole trailer just now, so that's it.
Sweet.
Do you think it sounds interesting?
No, I'm for it.
All right.
It sounds like a cool concept. I'd be for it.
It's a spooky trailer.
Is it like a theaters or?
I think it's a theatrical release.
Gotcha.
The next one, Bird Box.
Yeah.
Looks very interesting. If I could sum it up in just a little brief synopsis.
Yeah.
It looks like the blindfolded quiet place.
Yeah. The unseen place.
Yeah. I'll let you take this one.
I actually listened to a podcast where someone said they read the book based on this, and they said it's really fucking good. Like, they said it was like one of their favorite books they've read in a while. So, no, I'm curious for it. I definitely want to check it out. It's Sandra Bullock, and they have a huge fucking cast for it.
Yeah,
it looks like
the book must have been good because it pulled in Sandra Bullock and like John Malkovich.
Yeah, and Rel.
And I knew I recognized his face from somewhere.
Fucking Rel, dude.
Yeah, it looks it looks intense, and I don't even really know what's really happening. It looks like some maybe catastrophic either disease or some sort of evil entity is in the world, and if you see it, then you become like, you see your greatest fear, and then you pretty much kill yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have to go around the world living blindfolded or not looking outside.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Sounds like a fun-ass life to me.
Looks pretty crazy. So and it's dropping on Netflix.
Yeah.
And in theaters, in limited theaters in December.
It looks like they're going to try and get some kind of Oscar nods out of this if they're going to put it in theaters for a tiny bit.
Yeah, tiny bit. But we'll see. Is it late in the year? Does it go through January for Oscar stuff?
No, it has to be in... It has to make a run in a certain amount of theaters by the end of the year in order to be up for an Oscar.
Because this, I mean, it was the 21st, in December 21st.
Yeah.
That just seemed late in the year. I didn't know what the cutoff was.
The cutoff is the end of the year. It just needs to be in theaters at a certain point by the end of the year.
Oh, okay. But yeah, maybe. This doesn't look like one that would win, not Best Picture or anything, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be great.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be good.
Yeah. Spooky stuff usually doesn't get too many nods.
Hey, maybe there's like a boom in the genre film realm now that Shape of Water got that Best Picture.
Maybe, or they'll course correct or overcorrect.
Yeah, let's be like, get the cheesiest, most bullshit movie and get it Best Picture.
Yeah. Oh man, that's all I got. That's it.
All right, Troy. Well, term of random movies.
Yeah.
I know we're both disappointed.
This last week. What the fuck?
Yeah, we had Beer Fest versus You're Next.
Yeah,
and those Broken Lizard boys took it.
They took it
for
son of a bitch,
knocking You're Next out of it. So Beer Fest has advanced the term of random movies.
I kept up with this one even to the point where
just
Monday
hoping.
I quote tweeted it again, saying, please vote for this because I don't want to watch Beer
Please
Fest.
don't let this dog shit. I mean, it's
and then
not
Beer
dog
Fest
shit.
even got more votes. Even I'm like, God damn it! Fuck you, Internet.
I won't even say Beer Fest is dog shit. It's just I'm
not in the mood to watch Beer Fest.
Yeah. I don't need to watch Beer Fest again. I think I got it the first time.
We got Phil Swanson over here just trolling me on Twitter saying Beer Fest is great. Come on, Phil. What are you doing?
Fuck, Phil.
Anyway.
Phil tweeted you, said that it was great. Is that a male scream?
Yeah.
Is that some mail we got?
Just put in the scream because that's me screaming in my head.
Gotta sound like a lot like this. Oh, son of a bitch. Whatever.
What's going on with that computer today?
I don't know. It does not want to play any audio today. It's being a shithead.
Being a shithead.
Well, the last two films, Troy.
Okay.
In the term of random movies.
Mm-hmm.
You said this one's been a weird one.
Mm-hmm. This one's gonna really blow me away.
So we'll see. We'll see if these two win you over on this bracket.
Okay.
We got a film from 2013,
okay,
which includes one of your favorite actors
okay,
playing a pretty offensive role.
Great.
And the other one from 2001 is The Heroic Journey of a Janitor.
Okay.
The first one from 2013, the tagline, Never Take Off the Mask.
From 2013, in an offensive role?
Yeah. One of your favorite actors, quotations, is in a pretty offensive role.
What Johnny Depp movie came out 2013? I can't think of it. I don't know.
You're going to kick yourself when I tell you this, Troy. The Lone Ranger.
Oh, okay. Great. Johnny
Lone
Depp
Ranger.
is in it. Fuck. All right.
So we got that one from 2013. The movie from 2001.
Okay.
Keep on mopping in the free world.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Okay.
So there you have it, Troy. The Lone Ranger versus Joe Dirt. I'm sure you got a favorite already.
I do. Well, I don't know. I've never seen The Lone Ranger.
I know.
And I bring it up every once in a while.
You do.
I kind of want to see it.
Yeah. Got Armie Hammer in there.
That's very
Maybe he
true.
might even it out.
That's very true. I love that William Tell theme.
Yeah. Might even out the Johnny Deppness.
I've seen Joe Dirt a lot on TBS.
Yeah. Very funny.
So maybe I'll want to switch it up, or but every time I watch Joe Dirt, I really like it.
There you go.
For whatever reason.
So tough one for you. This one's a tough one.
This one is a real tough one.
So there we go. We got all the films laid out already for the Term Random Movies, Troy.
Yeah.
Just to remind you, Troy, we have The Meg.
Uh-huh.
Street Fighter.
That's right.
Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
The Princess Bride. Crazy Rich Asians.
Uh-huh.
White Men Can't Jump. And Beer Fest. Alongside our matchup this week of The Lone Ranger and Joe Dirt.
Okay. GHD just chimed in on the Twitter.
Yeah.
Saw the results to this last week's poll.
Yeah.
And demands a recount.
Yeah, I figured Dave would be very upset because I think Dave's a pretty big fan of You're Next.
Yeah, he doesn't shut up about it. He's just always going on about You're Next.
It's pretty good. I liked it.
I'll never
but
know.
We can't do
I'll
it.
never know now.
Thanks a lot, world. I know we got to watch a bunch of fucking dickheads get drunk. We can't watch You're Next.
Chug syrup.
Chug syrup. That's in Super Troopers.
Ah, God damn it. That's not like... Fuck! God damn it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we gotta watch, what's her name? That old chick just act like a slut the whole time. Cloris Leachman or something.
Yeah.
Cloris Leachman act like a slut. That's what you want, America. Is that what you want?
Look what you've done.
Is that what you want?
Anyway. Halloween?
Halloween
2018 dropping into theaters October 19th 2018 to a lead up of a Halloween spook fest with a budget of $10 million. Excuse me again. Opening weekend made $76.2 million.
Oh my.
Pretty good.
Still didn't beat that Venom though.
Nope, still number 2. In opening weekends anyway.
Oh my, good, because that Venom was so fucking good.
Deserves it.
It deserves every single penny it gets.
As of the 23rd of this month, domestically, it has made $87.2 million. Worldwide, $103 million.
There you go.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 79%. IMDb has it at a 7.5 out of 10. And Haven of Horror. Or is it Heaven of Horror? I think I scribbled this too fast.
Uh-oh.
Either one of those things.com has it at a 3 out of 5. And because,
wow.
And because of their name, they didn't have a special rating thing, so I just said it was 3 out of 5 scary pumpkins. There you have it. They just have a numerical system.
I'm surprised that the scores for this sound lower than I thought. I heard a lot of positive reviews for this.
Yeah. I didn't listen to a lot of reviews, but the one or two that I did hear are right around these.
Really?
Roughly.
Okay.
Yeah. This also was number 10 in box office of rated R opening weekends.
Oh boy.
Of all time so far.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 10 through
Jesus
6.
Christ.
Do you think you could give me the top 5 and rated R
I'll try.
opening weekends of all time?
Okay, I'll try.
Number 10 is this Halloween.
Yes.
Number 9 is Passion of the Christ.
Okay.
It's not horror.
I thought that would be.
It's rated
okay.
up.
I thought that would be up there more.
This is just opening weekends, though.
Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Number 8 is 50 Shades of Grey. It's running the gamut here. Number 7 is Hangover 2.
Okay.
Number 6, Logan.
Fuck.
Yeah, what is 5 through 1?
Well, Deadpool might be.
Deadpool is number 1.
Yeah. Maybe The Hangover?
Nope.
Shit.
The Hangover is not in there.
Shit. Fuck.
There is another horror movie in the top 5.
Freddy vs. Jason?
Nope. And there is a...
It.
It is the other horror movie.
It.
There's also number 2 and 4 are franchises. And the number 5 is a Bradley Cooper vehicle.
Oh my god. I don't know, just give it to me.
Number 5 is American Sniper.
Ugh.
Number 4, Matrix Reloaded.
Oh boy.
Number 3 is It. Number 2, Deadpool 2. And number 1,
Jesus.
Deadpool.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
I also have another one of these, JT. This is the horror slasher lifetime gross.
Yeah.
Of what I've just said.
Yeah.
Halloween is already in number 4 of the slasher movies of lifetime grosses in its opening week.
Yeah.
All of these, the rest of these in the top 5 have been out of theaters for a while.
Yeah.
So can you name the top 5 highest grossing horror movies? Horror slasher movies.
It?
It is not on there because it doesn't consider itself a slasher.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Rob Zombie Halloween?
Nope.
Jesus Christ. I don't know then.
Number 5 is your Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, perfect.
At $82.6 million of a lifetime
The main
gross.
chick in Freddy vs. Jason has the most gargantuan tits. They even do a thing in that where like Freddy cuts her in the cleavage, so you're like forced to stare at it. It's ridiculous. We need to watch Freddy vs. Jason sometime. Freddy vs. Jason is such a stupid movie, but it is so fun.
I remember going to the theater to see that, and I was like, that was not what I expected it to be.
Oh,
but
it
I
is
think
so...
I liked it.
For some reason, my mom bought it for me for Christmas.
Great.
Oh, it
this
is so
last
fun.
Christmas?
Yeah, last Christmas. Yep. Last Christmas she did. But no, I just remember watching her. I'm like, my mom bought me this, and it is so fucking stupid. I loved it so much.
Oh my, I love that. Number 4 is this Halloween at $87.2 million so far.
Yeah.
From the numbers of the rest of these movies, I think it could probably take number 2.
Take the cake?
Number 3, Scream 3 at
geez.
$89.1 million. Number 2, Scream 2 at $101.3 million.
Wow.
And number 1,
Scream?
I'm not joking, at $103 million.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but those are their lifetime grosses, so I think Halloween could probably beat these if it has a couple of more strong weekends. Those are all the lists for you.
Take out old Ghostface.
Yeah. I always hated Scream. Never could get into it.
I like the first one. I don't remember the others pretty well.
Did you watch the reboot of it or the? It was like
Scream there was like a
4.
It's not a reboot, but
well, I know, like like
I didn't see Scream
20
4.
years later or
yeah,
whatever
I didn't
the
see
fuck
Scream
it
4.
is.
And I think MTV did a show called Scream.
Oh yeah, that's true. Anyway, with all the numbers out of the way, JT,
yeah.
What happened in Halloween?
Well, we catch up 40 years after the first Halloween, and Michael Myers is all jailed up in an insane asylum. And after he is kind of coaxed on by a couple documentarians, he escapes via a bus crash to go back to Haddonfield to terrorize a much older Laurie Strode that is pretty emotionally damaged from the events of the first film, and goes out of her way to protect not just herself, but her daughter, and even, dare I say, her granddaughter.
Oh my.
So, we shall see if old Laurie Strode finally gets her sweet revenge on Michael Myers.
There you have it. There's Halloween. I'm writing myself a note so I don't forget something. Okay, so this movie, if you didn't know already, takes place after 1978's Halloween.
Yep.
Disregarding any other Halloween movie that's ever come out completely.
Yeah. Even the second one that took place on the same night.
Yes. So forget all of what you've seen. All the stinkers out there didn't matter.
Yeah.
Even though Halloween 2 is fine.
Yeah.
I like it. I also like the fact that they make Laurie Strode like a half sibling of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I feel like it gives him like a reason to want to pursue her, to kill her for whatever reason.
That doesn't bother me too much. And like a part of me can see why they don't like stray away from that in this. And I'll bring it up when we start talking about it more. But...
yeah, because I have a note on that I want to bring up.
Okay.
So we'll get into it in spoilers.
Okay.
I feel like this movie is an adequate sequel. I like that it takes place when it does, like it just aged in real time.
Yeah.
With whatever it came out.
Yeah.
They do a lot of interesting role reversals in this that I wouldn't I didn't really expect to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun in parts, but the more I think about it, the more things bother me in it.
Okay.
And so I'll get into those a little bit later. But if you're going out, I'll say this: if you're going out looking for a fun Halloween night, like going out to see a movie, go see this.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Right on.
Unless you're like the hugest fan of Halloween, then I think you'd probably nitpick it to death. But I think you'd enjoy it.
Well, no, like I saw myself. I think I was a bigger fan of the original Halloween than you were. I know you said you found some things that you weren't the biggest fan of in the first Halloween.
Well, I was nitpicking, but yeah.
But I don't know. I actually, for being a sequel to that and being 40 years after the fact, I thought they did a really good job of building off of the first movie and almost like amping it up to where it felt like a genuine sequel, where I think they took turns where it felt genuine, but yet they still stayed true to the first one.
Yeah.
And for the things that even I had problems with from the first one, they revised in this one, where it's like they have better actors.
Yeah.
And no, I had a really good time with this. I thought this was really good for being a sequel, especially they really played up the whole 40 years in the future type thing, where it's like a lot of the stuff that Michael gets away with, he gets away with because it's so far removed from the events of the first one. I think.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, I thought for what it's worth, I thought I almost maybe liked this more than the first Halloween.
Oh, look out!
So look out, hard take.
I don't have much else to say besides all spoiler stuff, but I think we've already said already. Go out. Check it
I'd
out.
say definitely check it out. I had a pretty good time with this one. This was really good.
Good deal. You already said. I was gonna say, like, do you feel like the critics' scores that I've already read off are low, and you already answered that.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I think they're a bit lower. Yeah, but no, it's their opinion, man. It's whatever.
It's your opinion. Looks like your opinion.
That's like your opinion.
So from here on out, it'll be spoilers for Halloween if you care.
Yeah, if you care.
So JT, I feel that And I also read that John Carpenter said the same thing, that this movie here is a fitting ending to the series.
Oh yeah.
And I completely agree with him here.
Yeah.
Even though
it's not going to be, but it is.
Exactly. Like, this movie made buckets of money for its budget.
Yeah.
And they'll be making another one, most likely.
Yeah. Oh, totally. In fact, I even read that I guess Danny McBride and his writing partner even had a sequel lined up, and they wanted to film it back to back with this, but Jason Blum wouldn't let him until they found out how this did first.
Jeez, Jason Blum sounds like a smart guy.
Yeah, well, he's like the guy that like makes movies for like $3 million and then just gets like $20 million back.
Sits on his throne of money.
Motherfucker makes a shit ton of money, dude. Like, he knows his shit.
Right. He's a smart, like, even though like a good chunk of their stuff are kind of clunkers and stinkers.
Yeah.
They still make money because they make them for like $3 million.
Yeah, and he even knows how much to invest in the shitty movies to still get a good return back, even.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this movie sucks. $1 million.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to at least make fucking 12 or 13 million.
Yeah, and then nobody will see it ever again.
Yeah.
But I've made that money back.
And despite what, they make a fuck ton of good movies. Like, they made Upgrade.
Yeah.
They made this. They made, there's so
Get
much
Out.
shit. They made Get Out.
Yeah.
Like, they know how to invest in certain directors and in certain projects where it's like, you don't need a lot of money to tell a really good story.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my one thing. So, like, just going by the ending of this movie, I don't know if they do make a sequel, what they could really do. I mean, I don't want to jump to the end yet. I just want to naturally get there. But, like, the end of the movie could be ambiguous, I suppose.
Sure, yeah.
Just gauging by horror movies of
it is,
current time.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get there later. The soundtrack to this is great.
Oh, yeah.
John Carpenter's
is
back
yeah.
with his son, actually.
Yeah, it does feel like a jazzed up John Carpenter's son version of the original Halloween score. Like, especially like the different takes it takes on the Halloween theme.
Right.
Like, they'll have like some like kind of like more techno versions of the
Halloween
theme.
When that theme kicked in at one point, I was like, I kind of like this.
I was super jazzed when it kicks on for the first time with like, the fucking documentarian guy being like, say something, and it cuts right into it, and you're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, and it's like, fuck yeah. And they do like the cool shit where it's like the rotting pumpkin that like reinflates back to like the original one from the first Halloween.
Oh yeah, in the opening credits.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Where it's like you're like seeing like his thirst for killing like almost reawaken.
Oh yeah. I was kind of getting annoyed, and I even said this from the trailer, is that because they are taking all these other movies kind of like out of continuity, they make a point to bring it up in the movie.
Yeah.
And I felt it was like just so blatant and like didn't really I felt like it didn't need to be said.
Maybe, yeah, but I think in a way you kind of had to address it because there is so much out there.
The rest of the movies pretty much say that. Laurie Strode
like I'm sure like there's not everyone is like us where they keep in touch where it's like, yeah, this is only a sequel to Halloween. Everyone's gonna be like, why are they talking about her being a sister, or why aren't they doing this?
Yeah. So like that's the.
Although I have heard that there is like fun Easter eggs from the sequels that are in this. Like I guess one of the kids wears the mask from Halloween 3.
Like one of the pumpkin masks or something like that?
Yeah, I guess there's like a kid, they show like, there's like supposed to be like a kid in the background that's wearing one of the masks from Halloween 3.
Oh, that's fun.
But, yeah, so there are like nods to like the sequels, but yeah, it's strictly just a sequel to the first one.
Okay. Yeah, oh yeah. And even in that like, it's a shot from the trailer, it's like those three kids, one's like the granddaughter of Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
Her horny friend, and then her horny friend's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or walking down, they're going to school or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, didn't Michael Myers, isn't that like your grandma's brother or something like that? No, that's just I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking.
It's one scene.
They
don't spend 5 minutes with her describing her lineage or anything. It's just like like a thing where it's like, if that's past canon in another series, it's gonna confuse people. You need to like set the boundary where it's like, not her sister.
I get it. But I don't see what the big deal is if it is. Like that, because otherwise, like the other thing that the boy says on that same walk is pretty true. Because he says, why doesn't your grandma just get over it? It was like something that happened 40 years ago, and it was like he only killed like 5 people, which is true.
But yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like, it's easy to say that being someone that lives on the outside looking in.
Right, but okay, so like...
she's literally like a girl that lives... Literally nothing's happened to her up to this point, and she lived a night where she saw 3 people that she cares about dead, and then she was almost murdered with a knife.
Right.
By a raving lunatic.
So here's maybe a bit of a hot take. Okay. I don't think Laurie Strode should be that important in the grand scheme of things to Halloween. Because if you're taking it as fact that, like, he's not related to her, and it was just, his murders are random. Like, in the first one, like, he is just kind of semi-stalking people and just kind of killing people at random.
Yeah.
Laurie Strode really has no connection to him whatsoever. And so, like, even in this one, if he wasn't forcefully brought to her, he wouldn't have even encountered her and killed her.
Yeah.
Or, he didn't kill her, but I'm just saying, like, he wouldn't even have encountered her in the movie.
Yeah. But I think... Yeah, go ahead.
What he was saying was, like, what's the big deal? It was just a murder that happened, like, 40 years ago. There's things that happen now that are just as bad. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Which is kind of true.
Yeah.
Like, 40 years ago, this town had a history of this weird thing that happened. And in 40 years, I'm just assuming nothing as horrible has happened.
Yeah.
Because the guy's locked away.
Yeah.
So, if they're removing their family history, then I don't think Laurie Strode is really that important to, like, a Michael Myers story.
Gotcha.
That's my roundabout weird thing.
Okay.
But because if you want to center a movie around Laurie Strode and then have Michael come in, which they do in this, then I guess I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
End of rant.
See, I almost think it's scarier the fact that Laurie has no connection to Michael at all, because it's happenstance now. Like, she's literally a person picked at random that is now having her life completely terrorized and destroyed by this one being.
It's not happenstance, because she's, like, purposely living still near him. She knows where he is at all times.
Yeah, but she didn't choose... She didn't choose to have this man come in and kill 3 of her friends and almost her.
No, I get that, but she could have left. Like, she gets money from those podcasters or whatever during the interview and gives it to her granddaughter, say, go to Mexico. Why didn't your fucking ass go to Mexico?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to Australia, a big, remote, huge continent of an island that he would have to get to by boat if you're so worried?
But no, I think this is the message of the movie, though, is that it's so easy for us to be on the outside being like, why don't you just do this? Why don't you do that? And we've never been through an experience that Laurie's been through. Like, Troy, if someone came into your house and killed your entire family and tried to kill you, would you be... And then, like, 20 years later, someone's like, why don't you just get over that? That was bullshit. And would you be like, yeah, I should. I'll just move away then.
No, that's not what I would do at all. But if somebody came in and killed my whole family, I would probably not have any reason to stay around here and probably vamoose.
But her whole thing is that she needs to protect... She feels like a target, and she feels like she needs to protect her family, and the only way she can is if she stays.
But she didn't have a family back then. Like, she had her parents, and she could have moved out afterwards.
Yeah, but there's like a thing where it's like, I think like it's happenstance where it's like, I feel like her obsession with Michael is kind of like a drug, where like maybe she has instances where she gets over it, and then something else happens where it just kind of sets her back into that mindset, where she feels like she's over it now, and then something else clicks in that like sets her off. Like, yeah, sure, it's easy to say like, just why don't you just leave? Why don't you get away from it? But like maybe there's something drawing her where it's like, I feel safer knowing that I know where he is, as opposed to like being halfway across the country. Because even you said like killing 5 people, like that's not a big deal. Like maybe it's not that big enough deal where it's like if she was far away from Haddonfield, she would never know where Michael is. She'll never know if he ever got away.
Sure.
So it's like, because it's such a big thing in that town, like if anything ever happened to Michael, she'd know right away, because it's like people always follow that shit.
Yeah. If it was also, this is just something funny I was thinking about watching the movie. If it was such a if he's such a big deal in that town, that costume or look would be definitely illegal, you would think, right? So when he's just chilling around town in that, he should have been shot on sight.
But that's the thing, though. It's 40 years. Like, how long after 9/11 did people start joking about it?
Yeah, I know. I also got that, too. Like, it's like 40 years, all clear.
Yeah. I mean,
tonight's the first night people can go back out. Is that scary?
No, there's people that are like fucking, like, they didn't even grow up in that time.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. I agree with you.
Prince Harry went as a fucking Nazi officer to a fucking costume party once. Yeah. So it's like,
are you comparing Prince Harry to Michael Myers, the serial killer?
Hey man, look, him and Meghan Markle is like the best, tale as old as time. But no, like they take advantage of, that's what I like the most about this, that they take advantage of that 40-year time span where it's like he really doesn't have to try that hard, because people are now back into, like, what was kind of the theme of the first one. They're kind of back into their docile, like, small town living, where it's like, now the coast is clear, this bad shit happened, and now we're growing up in a town where people weren't even alive when Michael Myers did his fucking killing.
Yeah, I know.
So now it's like, now that the danger feels like it's past, it's back now, and people are back to the small town living they were before Michael Myers even came to town. And I like that a lot. Like, it almost kind of justifies itself in that way.
Grab another beer.
Beer.
I got more notes, but you got anything to chime in about, so I just don't start yapping off and...
No, I liked just like the small nods they did to the first one, even like how they portrayed Michael Myers in this. I thought it was still, even though I think they took a few liberties, it still stayed true to the original Michael Myers. Like, I was really digging like the opening scene with like the podcast documentarian guy people, where it's
Did you like those two?
I mean, they were fine for what they were. They were just there to be fucking cannon fodder for Michael Myers.
Yeah, they were there to make the new S-Town or whatever. And
pretty much.
got fucked up.
Yeah, but no, I like that whole scene in the beginning, like right before the opening credits, where it was like, you almost had this sense that like Michael Myers kind of like gives off like his own frequency, kind of.
Yeah.
Where it's like, once you notice him, you're just like, oh, I'm just not comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what they kind of like do, where it's like all the fucking inmates and all the fucking dogs just start going nuts when he sees the mask, where it's like, he just, like, they did it with a lot of scenes too, where like people just catch a glimpse of him and they're just like, you can see they just don't feel easy. Like, even like that scene at the gas station when like she just looks over and there's like this woman just like staring past her, just kind of like looking like she just felt like a cold chill or something, and then you see Michael Myers in the background just kind of walking, where it's like he's not really doing anything wrong, but like you can feel that he has this kind of like presence about himself that doesn't make people feel right.
Right. Yeah. I actually like that quite a bit in this, like how he kind of just traverses in the background a few times.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I think I saw him.
Yeah. Even like times when you're not really sure it's him, and like, because there's like a scene where like these two kids are walking on the street, and then a car just drives by, where it's like, was Michael in that car? Did Michael drive that car? Because they still established that he drives in this.
Right.
But, like, yeah, there's, like, a scene where they just kind of, like, stay on it a little longer than usual, and then, like, a cop car drives by, and you're like, oh, shit, was that Michael? Is Michael following them?
Right. What I did... I kind of... Okay. So there's, like, a role reversal in this, where near, like, the middle to the end of the movie, it's almost Laurie Strode being, like, the pursuer rather than being the pursued.
Yeah. Well, even before that, they recreate scenes that Michael Myers was in, but Laurie's in his place.
Right.
Like when her granddaughter's at school and she looks out the window and Laurie's just standing there staring at her.
Yeah.
Like that's like a total recreation of when Michael's staring at Laurie.
Yeah. Yeah, and just nods like that, or it was kind of like rubbing me the wrong way, because like halfway through the movie, I like the little subtle nods here and there, but then halfway through, I'm like, man, they're just doing like the greatest hits kind of thing in this, and it was kind of driving me nuts that it wasn't like really wholly original.
Yeah.
And it was like The Force Awakens or like Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Whereas like I like those on the first watch, but now I've even said it on other shows, like I'm more cognizant now of seeing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just seems like lazy.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but
because they did that shot where she's sitting in the back corner desk looking out.
Yep. Yeah.
And the role reversal where it's Laurie instead of Michael.
Yeah.
They do a shot where somebody's like hiding in the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
They do the shot where somebody's like lying on the ground. They look again, they're not there.
Yeah.
They do the shot where they come out of the dark and the face appears.
Yeah.
They, like all the greatest hits of the first one are now in this again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I get what you're doing.
And I can see where you're coming from with that, but I feel like because they're putting Laurie in that position, I feel like they're almost kind of hinting that Laurie might be becoming what Michael is.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want... Like, maybe it's just that I don't want to see that in her character.
Yeah.
I don't want to see her turn at this, like, point in her life now that she's, like, a crazed killer or whatever.
Yeah, and I get that, but I don't know. I like the idea of that where it's like, you can... Like, these events can literally turn you into the thing that you hated the most.
Yeah. Which you get to see kind of with that doctor, the new Loomis.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about him for a minute?
Yeah. What was his name? Like,
I don't know.
it was
I
like
just called him
something
New
weird,
Loomis.
like something like Dr. Travas. I don't know. It was a weird name.
Travago.
Yeah, Travago. He's really good at finding flights for you.
Yeah, at a really good rate. So the new Loomis, Mr. Travago, Dr.
Yes.
Travago, took over for him after Loomis passed away and has been studying Michael ever since.
Yeah.
And at first I thought he was kind of just like, oh, he's just the new doctor role or whatever, just to fill in.
Mm-hmm.
But there is more going on to his character, and the more I think about it, like, they kind of set it up even as early as the podcasters being there.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, I want to hit the podcasters really quick.
Okay.
So, before I lose my train of thought, they don't introduce themselves as podcasters, but they're like, no, we're investigative journalists or whatever, and they're blah, 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 until they go to see Laurie Strode, and the guy's like, we're podcasters? And I'm like, you lost all fucking credit.
Yeah, at least make up a TV station or something.
Yeah.
Like the minute you're just like, God, like anytime someone introduces themselves as a podcaster to me when it comes to my wrestling, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, and I am one, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, I'm close enough to the subject material where I know you're probably a loser.
I'm in your world, man.
Yeah.
I know what you are.
I know I'm enough of a loser to know that you're a loser.
So anyway, Dr. Travago. Here we go. I don't even want to look up his name.
I think it's Zartan or something, but I think it is. I like Travago better.
Okay, good. So you see like little subtle hints that something may be like not right with him.
Yeah. And they even kind of hint that I think he's the one that caused the bus crash.
I put that together after the movie because
Yeah.
Chelsea kind of hinted at that, and then I was like, I don't know. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, because he was in front of the cage with the driver, so he could have easily took out that guard, crashed the bus, and then let Michael escape, and then he just hid in there to be safe.
Yeah. Because I think they leave enough up to it where like Michael's not as supernatural as he's been portrayed in the past.
It's like, the other movies made him out.
Yeah,
to be like
but this one they still kind of keep him in the realm of humanity, even though he's still very otherworldly and like kind of in some of his abilities.
Yeah, he's still pretty fucking strong. And he can do that ninja vanish.
But I think even compared to the original Halloween, they still do things in this where like it's still within cognition that you can kind of see how he got from point A to point B.
Yeah, even that one whole shot where it's just one take.
Yeah,
where he's just going in and out of houses.
That's fucking terrifying.
Hell yeah, it is. Like, that was probably my favorite part of the movie, was that part.
Yep, yeah.
Because it just goes on to, like, it's just he's killing at random. It doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah, and I love that they do it at random, too. I think, because I listened to a podcast where they reviewed this, and one of the complaints was, like, he doesn't just kill everybody. He just does it at random. Like, how does he decide who he kills? And I think that's part of the horror of it.
Yeah.
Like, especially, like, there's like a scene where like he stares at a guy for a long time where it's like, oh, he's going to kill him next. And then he just kind of looks away and looks at some woman in the window and then goes and kills her instead. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I thought back to that and I'm like, man, that's kind of fucking terrifying where it's like, I'm just imagining like, what if I walked on the street one day and then I look over and there's some guy just staring at me and I just get this idea where it's like, what if he wants to kill me? And he's just like, just can't find the way to do it right now, but he really wants to kill me.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Where it's like that's almost scarier because it's like, okay, if I'm dead, then there's nothing for me to be scared of anymore because I'm dead.
Yeah.
But like if I put in a situation where I look over and I see someone just kind of staring at me, where I'm like, does he want to kill me? And then like you're kind of like left thinking about that, where it's like if I was put in a different situation where we weren't around a lot of people, or we were put in a situation where I was closer to him and he killed me, I could have died today. And I think that kind of like leads to that horror a little bit more, where like there are people out there that could want to kill you, they just can't find the time to do it at that moment.
Think about that, people. Someone
wants
to kill you.
Somewhere at some time someone's gonna want to kill you. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, try to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole one shot take was amazing because like he's just like, I think it's in one of the trailers too, or like a special sneak peek at the movie.
Yeah.
Like the Halloween theme just starts.
Yeah.
And he just goes and grabs a hammer, walks in the back door of somebody's house.
Yeah. And they don't even show it. You just hear the sound. And then they come in and there's like this big pool of blood. And we're like, oh, God.
Grabs a kitchen knife, walks out the front door, goes out into another house.
That one when he kills the knife is so violent. He just grabs her shoulder and just fucking stabs her throat and throws her into the wall. We're like, you have to throw her against the wall. She's dead. But he's just like, fuck this bitch! And he's like so angry at her.
Oh my God. Yeah, the best scene in the movie was that one, hands down.
Yeah. He was so angry at that woman. Like, what did she do? She was on the phone. I was like, God damn it! Stab neck! Throw you in the wall. Fuck
done.
You.
You're done.
I'm so pissed at you.
Anyway, how did this start? Oh yeah, the doctor. I'm talking about Trivago still.
Dr. Trivago.
So yeah, I'm fairly certain he caused a bus crash, even though it's not directly stated. It's pretty good to assume that he did.
Yeah.
After you find out of the events that happen later on.
And a kid shoots him.
That's okay. The kid gets it anyway.
I started laughing when the kid shot him. He's like, "Don't shoot me!" Bam! And just takes his ass out. I loved it.
The kid that wants to be a dancer. Good old tiny dancer shot Dr.
Tiny
Trivago.
dancer shot Dr. Trivago.
Oh my God.
This is a good review.
We're all over the place in this one. It's so good. It's right off the bat though. During that bus crash, it happens fairly early on in the movie. Not Dr. Trivago. Michael Myers does kill that kid.
Oh yeah.
And so you're like, oh shit! Like anything could really happen in this.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he didn't kill that baby though.
Oh yeah, I was like, the minute
God.
he was getting close to that baby, I'm like, oh god, I hope Troy doesn't watch this now.
Oh my god!
But he doesn't kill the baby.
No, he doesn't. They drew a good line.
Because like before, because he killed the kid, and I was kind of surprised because I always kind of thought there was like a line where like Michael Myers wouldn't kill kids because he comes across so many kids in the first one and doesn't kill any of them. It's just the babysitters.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just older people. I don't know.
Maybe he checked the kid's ID before he strangled him to death.
Yeah.
Where it's like, 16. All right.
Crack.
Yep.
You'll never dance again, kid.
Yeah. You'll be dancing in heaven.
You'll be dancing in hell. Anyway, okay, so from there, you don't see a ton of the Doctor until maybe about the end of the second act or so, where the Doctor comes into play again once Michael Myers is loose, and he's like the new Loomis chasing down freaking Michael Myers, saying it's his patient and everything, and he needs to be kept alive. And they finally end up running into Michael Myers, literally.
Yeah.
With a car. And the Doctor...
Yeah, they hit him with a car like twice, don't they?
Yeah, and then... So the Doctor is out there with the cop who... is the cop that showed up on the scene in the first movie.
Yep. Yeah.
In canon, anyway.
Yep.
And then...
the guy from Armageddon.
Right? And so that guy, he's after I hit him with his Bronco or whatever, is like ready to just blow his head off.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's like, no, you can't do it, blah, 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 blah. Takes out his, like, secret penknife, turns around and just necks the guy with it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Because, like, before now, you wouldn't even kind of put together that has evil motives or ulterior motives.
Yeah.
But, and I don't think his motive was to really be a killer. Because it made it seem for a minute, because after he does that, he puts on Michael Myers' mask.
Yeah. It's for like a brief minute, though. Like, he takes it right back off.
But I don't know if he wanted to know how it felt, or he just kind of wanted to have Michael, like, just be out in the wild and observe him in the wild.
Yeah. I think they kind of strike him as, like, the reason Loomis was so adamant about making sure Michael stayed locked up was because he's seen him in action.
Yeah.
And now he has this student, this protege, that has heard all of Loomis's stories, and he wants to experience it firsthand.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of like judging, because like he's obsessed with like wanting Michael to say something.
Yes.
Like that's his big thing, is that Michael's never said a word. And I think he's kind of judging himself that if I get Michael to say something, that means that I've surpassed my teacher.
Yeah.
Because Loomis could never do that. And he worked with him for fucking 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, like, I think that's like his main goal is, like, he thinks the only way that he can get Michael to say anything is if he's out doing what he did 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is like one of the things, though, like after that happens, the cop gets penknifed, is like, so now it just needs to get Michael Myers to Laurie Strode's house. And that's how I was like, the whole time I was thinking, because Laurie Strode and her daughter and her daughter's husband are like in her remote location.
Yeah.
Like out in the woods or whatever.
Yeah.
Like totally far removed from Haddonfield.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck does Michael Myers get there? Because you know he does.
Yeah.
Because she has to have a showdown with him eventually, right?
Yeah.
That's what the movie's been building up to.
Yeah.
And then so that's the only reason really the Doctor is there is so he can go nuts to drive him to Laurie's house.
Pretty much.
And I was like, that's kind of lame, because then he just gets his head stomped.
Oh, God. Does he ever? Fucking like a goddamn cantaloupe.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Well, before we get to Laurie's house, I was a big fan of the scene at, like, the babysitter's house.
Oh yeah, with the little black kid.
The black kid was amazing.
He was so good. He was so good.
Even when Michael Myers like jumps out of the closet, like fuck this, and he runs down the stairs.
I really enjoyed him, and I didn't think I would. I'd be like, oh my god, one of these. But like, he was so charming.
Awesome. Yeah, this. And then like the babysitter's boyfriend that gets the date tattooed on his arm because he thinks that's when he's gonna get laid.
Yeah,
and then it ends up being the day that he dies.
Really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That whole scene in that house is pretty tense.
Yeah, and like the whole like even though they show it in the trailer, like the closet reveal was really good.
Yeah, and because I was wondering when it was, I knew the closet reveal was coming.
Yeah,
and I'm like, how are they going to get out of this situation? Yeah. They don't.
They don't. They
the black kid gets out of there.
The black kid runs away.
But like everybody else gets chopped up.
Yeah, and then the boyfriend gets shish kebab like Bob from from the first one.
Yeah. Just right up against the wall.
Yep.
I think the knife was like in the back of his neck too, which
it's like how the fuck does he stay up then?
It's a strong ass knife.
Yeah.
Hard ass stab.
Yeah. And then he puts the ghost sheet over the dead babysitter.
Yep. I'm trying to not forget everything before we get to Laurie's house. Oh, I also kind of liked the scene in that yard where that.
With the motion light.
Yeah,
that was pretty creepy. I liked that a lot.
Anytime the light went off, Michael Myers kept getting closer.
Yeah,
to that kid. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, and then there's one time where like it came on and you can't see him. When you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Thought that was really good.
Yeah.
That was probably my next favorite part of the movie was that.
Yeah, there was some creepy moments. I was really digging it.
So, once we finally get to Laurie's house...
but wait, before we get to that still, like, what do you think of Laurie's story altogether? Like, what do you think of Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie, and what do you think of, like, her whole arc leading up to this?
Okay, so when I originally saw the trailers, I'm like, man, she, like, turned into Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And... she kind of does, but not to the extent. Well,
I mean, they kind of do. They even like kind of do the whole thing where like she, like makes her daughter's life a living hell because she wants to protect her.
Yeah,
kind of like John Connor.
Yeah. So like I was gonna say at first, I don't think it was to the extent of like a Sarah Connor character.
No.
But by the end, I think it is.
Yeah, kind of.
Like it plays it off like she's like before we get to her house.
Yeah.
It does a better job of playing her off as like just emotionally distressed.
Yeah.
And she's doing these things because she had a huge trauma in her past.
Mm-hmm.
And like now it's totally fucked her up for her whole life. And now this is how she lives now.
Yeah. And I like that they introduce like the 3 different generations where it's like the further you're away from her, like the more you like her. Like she's still a good person. It's just that her daughter was like, just got all of the bullshit that came with her.
Right.
And her granddaughter is actually like, why don't you invite grandma? And she's just like, she is fucked. I don't want her around me at all. She made my life a living hell.
See, I couldn't really get into the teen, like, character in this.
Really?
The granddaughter. Not as much. Like, there was more of the teen stuff in this with like the granddaughter and like the boyfriends and all that kind of stuff. And I couldn't really fully get into it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I just found that I would maybe think the Judy Greer character would be more interesting to learn about.
Yeah, I felt like they tried to. That's the one thing that I think they tried to force a lot of like the high school stuff, just because it's like a slasher film does revolve a lot around high schoolers.
Yeah.
But I felt like in the end they just kind of like threw it off to the wayside to get into the big finale at the end.
Yeah.
Because they even like do some shit with like her boyfriend where it's like he's cheating on her and then she's just like, fuck him.
About any of this.
Yeah, and even the movie doesn't give a shit about it. Like the minute it happens, it's like, yeah, so fuck him. He's off fucking someone else now. Now she's off doing something else. Like they don't even go back to him. Like he doesn't even die.
Nah.
Like he's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm cheating on you, and then she leaves, and then you never see him again.
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't get into it whatsoever.
It was like, it felt like they were trying to drum up some kind of teenage drama just to kind of keep her plot line moving along, but after a while they're just like, I don't fucking care about this.
I mean, they made for like fodder for Michael Myers just to have like that house scene.
Just for like the fat dude that was like, but I'm a nice guy.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, so you're an incel.
He reminded me of that creepy dude in Not Another Teen Movie where follows fucking Joni to the airport or whatever it is. So yeah, he gets shish kebabbed on a fucking iron gate or whatever.
He puts his throat through it or something.
He's just hanging there by his jaw.
Oh, the gas station scene. Holy shit, people get it fucked in there.
Yeah, almost more than anybody else.
The jaw dude, like
Michael Myers just rammed his open mouth into the corner of like a counter,
and then just throws the teeth at that chick.
Oh my. That was a pretty tense scene, that whole bathroom scene.
Yeah, because you see pretty much everything Michael Myers does in the background, is just people don't notice it.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Yeah. I also like the small kind of throw-in that you see Michael Myers' dead eye from the first one.
Yeah.
Chelsea got stabbed in the with the wire hanger.
Chelsea asked me about that after the movie, because she didn't see the first Halloween or whatever. She's like, what was this with his dead eye? And I'm like, ha! Yeah, they did show his dead eye, didn't they? It's pretty great. Do we finally want to get to Laurie's house at this point?
Yeah, I think I covered everything that I want to cover up to this point.
So, once they get to Laurie's house, it's like this big old convoluted plot that we just said, but from here, then I totally kind of go back on my Sarah Connor thing. I'm like, yeah, she's pretty action hero at this point.
Yeah, that house is hella fucking just
armed to the teeth.
Just done up so fucked up.
Right. It's got like a panic room built into the floor.
Yeah.
Down there is like food storage and like a ton of guns.
Yeah.
And then every room in the rest of the house has like a steel gate that can drop, so once you see it, you can clear the room and either lock them in or out of that room.
Yeah. But I like the idea that this house was just one big trap, because they even kind of set it up in the beginning where, like, when you see the dad setting up all the mouse traps, where he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna lead you, like. He's just like looking for more shit to like lead him into the traps and stuff, and talking about that, where it's like, oh, so it's like kind of a nod to like what the ending's gonna be, where it's like,
oh, I didn't even put that
in order to like to catch a rat, you need the bait to lead them into the trap.
Yeah.
And the bait was her family. Like, she was expecting her whole family to be there to like bait Michael Myers into coming to the house.
Yeah. I thought the plan to trap him down there after it happened, I'm like, that seems like a lot of things have to align for him to get down there.
Yeah, but you can like see like the small things she does to make it so that that's the only place left he can go. Like, even down to where like she's checking all the rooms and sees he's not in there, so then she bars the door, where it's like she's literally like making the house smaller so that the only place he can go from then on is down into that basement.
Right. The only thing I was thinking, though, if he does go down there while other people are down there, granted they're down there with guns pointed up at him, like, let's just say he did get down there, they're kind of fucked.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing about Laurie, where it's like every time you talk to her, like, she doesn't really have a lot of value for human life. Even like some of her own like family members, like, she wants to keep them safe, but in the end she's like, her main goal is she wants Michael Myers dead.
Yeah.
Like, even like when people talk to her, where it's like, Jesus Christ, you want Michael Myers to get out? Like, why would you think that? It's like, he needs to die. Yeah. I don't care how it's done, he just needs to die. Or it's like, so like you really don't give a shit about anyone who dies tonight. You just want to make sure that Michael Myers is one of the dead people.
Yeah, but I still think she cares about like her family. Like,
yeah, she does. Like, she does go out of her way to save them, but in the end,
not so much Roy.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about him. But like in the end, she's like, she is planning that before this is through, Michael Myers needs to die.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why they almost kind of frame her like how they frame Michael Myers in the first one, where it's like she's like Michael Myers is still the heartless character he's always been, but now Laurie is almost taking that mantle on herself, where it's like she's so obsessed that she almost sees nothing but killing Michael Myers, kind of like how Michael Myers sees nothing but killing the people around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So once Michael Myers eventually does get to the house, obviously, and then he is terrorizing everyone in it. You know what I found odd when Laurie was like clearing the house is that in one of the rooms was just full of mannequins. Like, why would you keep those in there? If there was any chance that somebody could disguise themselves in there, why did you keep the mannequins in that room?
She needs spares to shoot on the range.
Then keep them in the range. Keep them outside. Like, I don't understand why they keep them in the house.
You don't know. These kids nowadays, they're always stealing your mannequins. You got to keep them locked up in your house.
She has a secure location that the podcasters had to buzz in to get even into her driveway.
You don't know kids these days, Troy.
That's true.
They're just
kids
they're
have their
just
ways
so fucking
to steal all those mannequins.
Also, I love they did so many like fake outs where it's like he's gonna be in his closet because they did the whole closet thing. She has like the exact same closet from the first one where it's like he's totally in that closet. Nope, not in that closet.
Nah, just chilling out in that mannequin room though. He's somewhere in there.
Yep. The dead husband's like stuffed in there. There.
Like, how did he get there up there? Because Michael Myers would have to. You saw his dead ass body laying out in the yard.
Well, she follows that blood trail because he shoots off his hand, and then she follows it, and then it ends up being the husband.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Maybe.
Whatever.
Yeah, he was just like, get the fuck in there. I'm gonna go make out with this mannequin in the background.
Stuff your ass in this closet.
Get the fuck in there.
So they so they eventually do trap Michael Myers downstairs after she does have a very Sarah Connor moment where she's like, "Happy Halloween, Michael," and like pretty much kicks him down this fucking flight of stairs down to the panic room.
Sparta kicks him.
Where it's just like at the very end of the first fucking Terminator, Sarah Connor goes, "You're terminated, fucker," and it's like the exact
pretty much is
fucking
ending. Because she like fucking sets that shit off where it just sets the whole house on fire.
Yeah, and she like flips some switch where like fucking spikes block him from even getting back up the stairs, and then they just leaks gas into the whole fucking house and just lights it all up. So I was thinking like it seemed like it'd be pretty convoluted to get him trapped downstairs, but the gas was going off in the whole house.
Oh yeah,
like they could have burned him up whenever.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just like, God damn, this house is. She thought of like everything.
Oh yeah. She had 40 years to plan it.
I guess you're right. So they finally get outside, and then the three generations hop into a back of a pickup truck and just like kind of drive off.
That's kind of the end, pretty much.
Yeah, but you never see Michael burn up in the building.
No, they even like pan back to the basement, and they didn't show him.
Yeah, so that's the reason I'm like, how are you gonna get out of it? Like, what clever writing are you gonna have for him?
Well, he put a paramedic in the mask and threw him in the basement.
It was Roy the whole time.
Roy put the mask on. He was like, "Why are you burning me down here? I was just wearing this mask to give you a good spooking."
Oh man, but yeah. So that's Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know if they made like a subtle reference to like maybe like the granddaughter with that knife in her hand at the end doing anything, because don't like at the end of like Halloween 4, doesn't like that little girl become Michael Myers essentially?
I don't know. I don't think I ever saw 4.
I want to say
Dave's probably listening to this being pissed again.
Yeah, fuck you, Dave.
He sent that message where it's like, every time you guys talk about anything Halloween, it drives me insane. 'Cause it's all wrong. I wanted to see his face when I said, I don't even think he wears the mask in Halloween 4. Like, he does! He wears the mask in every movie!
Oh my god. I would just love for him just to record a reaction video to the whole review of this and just see him just chomping at the bit to want to chime in, but I would
listen to a Mystery Science Theater 3000 podcast of our podcast by GHD.
Oh my god, it'd be so great. So anyway, that's pretty much all of Halloween.
Yeah.
It's a very action suspense type
I
of
wouldn't
ending.
even say it's very horror. Like, there are horror elements to it, but it's more action based, I think.
Yeah. Which I thought was kind of weird. Like, even though, like, even the first Halloween had, like, a bit of suspenseful, like, action-y terror, like, it was more terror than this. This was, like...
a lot of it was more, like, stalking and methodical in the first one. This was, like, it jumped right into the action almost right away.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's another thing, too, that I was like, I kind of expected this kind of ending, and I wanted maybe something a little more terrifying. There was suspense when she was, like, traversing the house.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the same kind of feeling I wanted to kind of leave the theater with. You know what I mean? But that's it's what you got.
Hey, man.
Anything else you want to say about it before we give it like a final grade and send it off?
No, it's pretty much covered everything. I thought it was, for what it was, I thought it was really well made, and yeah, like how John Carpenter said, like how you said, I thought it was a really fitting ending. It's not going to be the ending,
no,
but I thought it was pretty well done for like how it was all laid out.
Exactly. So what would be your grade? Final grade.
Like I brought it before, like I think I like this more than the original Halloween, and I gave that a B+. So I'm gonna give this like a decent A-. I think.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was for being a sequel. I thought they did everything a sequel should do, where it adds different elements but still doesn't stray away from the main theme of what the first one was.
Yeah, I had fun with the movie, but I did halfway through kind of like do like a heavy sigh and realized kind of what they were going for, and I was kind of getting sick of the tropes that they were just recycling in this. So I'm gonna give it a bit of a lower score.
Okay,
but I think I'm gonna go like B-.
Okay.
I think even talking about it tonight made me raise it a little bit, because I think I would have probably given it a C+.
Yeah.
But, like, I think a B- is pretty fitting.
Yeah.
It still is a fun horror movie. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just that things that I am kind of sick with, like, these kind of relaunches of movies and stuff.
Yeah. You're just a dickhead.
Yeah, I'm just a fucking stupid idiot, fat fucking prick. Okay?
Anytime I throw any kind of insult at you, you just drive it up by 100.
Just, yeah, you know, fuck me, right? Because I'm such a fucking stupid,
a fucking idiot.
I fucking don't know anything. But besides Halloween, did you watch anything else or do anything else this last week, JT?
Well, I saw the film Hotel Artemis.
Oh, how was that?
It's a fun movie. I'd say don't go out of your way to go see it, but like if it comes on, like if you see it's for like free on Netflix, or if you want to rent it, I think it's a fun rental.
Okay.
Like it presents itself as like a fun cheesy B movie.
That's the one with like Jodie Foster in it, right?
Yeah, Jodie Foster is actually probably the best in it.
Okay.
I think she's like the best character in it, but yeah, it's a pretty packed cast. Like Charlie Day's in it.
Yeah.
The chick from The Mummy's in it.
Right.
Dave Bautista's in it.
Right.
Jeff Goldblum's in it for a little bit. Like it's pretty packed cast. It's a really fun cast. It's a fun film. It's just like your typical B movie. Like
okay.
A lot of shit goes on, and it's not gonna like blow your socks off or anything. But it's a fun movie. I had fun with it.
All right.
And I started Daredevil season 3. I don't know. Did you watch any of it yet?
I wanted to start it, and Chelsea groaned at me, so we started watching something else, which I'll bring up.
I think I'm like in the middle of episode 5. I think.
Is this a 10 or 13 or?
I think it's 13, maybe.
Okay.
And I'll say in the beginning, it took me a little bit to get into it because even though they do introduce interesting aspects of Daredevil, it's still a lot of talking and it's a lot of like repeating the same thing over and over again because they have to accommodate these fucking episodes.
Uh-huh.
But it does pick up. Holy shit, does it fucking pick up.
Okay.
And it definitely reminds me of Daredevil Season 1 quite a bit.
Okay.
I would definitely really put it up there as... For what I've seen so far, I would put it up there with Daredevil Season 1 so far.
Solid.
And it's... Even like the fighting style. Like they go back to Daredevil getting the fucking shit kicked out of him.
Nice.
And like even in situations where it's like he's like fighting like two regular guys and he's getting the fucking shit annihilated out of him.
Great.
Where it's like, thank God, thank you. I'm not watching dumb shit Iron Fist fights where he's like fucking fighting 14 dudes and like they're just coming at him one at a time. Like This is actually like you're watching Daredevil get the fucking shit kicked out of him, but he still finds a way to come out of it in the long run.
Nice.
And even the way they set up Bullseye in this is really good too. Like they do like a really cool thing where it's Wilson Fisk is just kind of like gets all the files on this guy because he's like an FBI agent and he just wants to learn everything he wants to know about him because he sees him do all this crazy Bullseye shit. And they do like this really cool like flashback montage where it's like Wilson Fisk sitting in his penthouse and it's just like all the events of Bullseye's life are just kind of like happening around him.
Mm-hmm.
So you get Bullseye's backstory without it feeling like, oh, no, gotta wait for this this fucking whole thing to play through. Like you're watching Wilson Fisk like react to all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Bullseye's backstory is actually kind of cool, where it's like nothing happens to like see how he became who he became, but it's like you just see him be this like psycho that wants to kill things throughout his life. It's just like he like kills his baseball coach because he pulls him from a game.
Oh, God.
By like he just throws the baseball against the fence and it comes back and hits him in the brain and kills him.
Cool.
Whereas just nothing, they don't explain why he's like the way he is, but they do his backstory and it's all like just shit where he's just an asshole for no reason. Like even like an aspect that they introduce where it's like, oh shit, this is where he kind of becomes humanized. They throw in like a small thing where it's like, well, I'm gonna kill you. Oh shit, that came out of nowhere. So yeah, I'm like 5 episodes in so far. I'm digging it right now.
Great.
I'm for it.
Good friggin' deal.
Yeah, and that's all I've been into.
I actually tried to start Daredevil season 3. I didn't get to it. I got to like the opening credits and then Chelsea was like, no. So instead, we went and started The Good Place.
Oh, there you go. I heard you guys started on your Chum Type.
Yeah. Really into it.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
I still haven't gotten to the big twist yet. I need to rewatch the last 2 episodes because we binged like most of it the first day we watched it. And then we had like 4 more episodes to do, I think, like on our second day, but like I was falling asleep. I was in and out of consciousness on like the last 2 episodes of the first season.
Yeah.
And so she was like, did you see the big twist? I'm like, nope. I don't know what it is.
It's cool. It's cool.
Okay. She asked me yesterday when we went to go out to see the movie, like, what I thought it was. I'm like, I honestly have no idea what it was, because the idea that I thought going into it, I think is too on the nose.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
I honestly don't know what the real one is. This is what my thought was.
Okay.
Was the whole Good Place is just hell.
Yeah.
And Kristen Bell's character like is in hell because this would be her personal hell dealing with these kind of people.
Okay.
And so like there's other like layers of it, and that's like the bad place and all that other kind of stuff too.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's that on the nose as like a reveal, because I think it's too obvious.
Okay.
Because if everybody was like, oh, it's like a weird kind of cool twist, I don't think it's that. I don't think anyone would be up in arms about like like that lame of a fucking, reveal or whatever. So I don't think it's that. But that's what I thought off the bat.
Okay.
So I don't really know what it is yet.
Okay.
So I don't even know how it's not been spoiled for me either at this point in time.
Even like trailers for like The Good Place season 2 or even season 3, like they go out of their way to make sure they don't reveal what it is. Because there's no way you can show even clips of season 2 or season 3 without giving it away.
Really?
But like in the trailers, just like everyone's saying this about The Good Place, and they don't show shit from the seasons. Where it's like, man, you really are trying to keep it under the radar for people that haven't seen the first season yet.
Dang. All right.
It's like crazy. They're just like, don't show them a fucking thing. They need to know. They need to experience for them themselves.
Well, Chelsea watched it and she saw it, but
What'd she think of it? Did she say what she thought of it?
She's playing it coy, so I don't catch on.
Oh, okay.
I told her I don't even want to know her feelings towards it. So I'll probably watch it tomorrow after I get off work or something like that.
Gotcha.
See what it is. Anyway, other than that, I've just been reading Batman, obviously.
You've been reading Batman, Troy?
I've been reading a little bit of Batman. I gotta start that omnibus that's right up there, sitting, Batman by Grant Morrison.
God damn it!
Gotta do that pretty soon here.
Holy shit.
So
that whole thing?
Yeah.
My God.
Dave's probably listening to this. He's like, oh, that fucker hasn't started yet.
Not only does it know shit about Halloween, but he's not started the Grant Morrison omnibus yet.
Oh, my God. So I got a lot going down the pipeline for me. But, JT, if people want to know what's on the pipeline for you, where can they get a hold of you?
You can catch me laying pipe at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter. Also, Bucky for Everyone on Instagram. Yeah. And hey, why not Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat? Troy.
Got all those NSFW posts on Twitter. You can find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. You can find all of our NSFW posts on Review Pod as well on Twitter. All of our episodes are uploaded onto Facebook.com/ReviewReviewPod. And our hosting site, ReviewReviewPod.podbean.com, is an adequate way to listen to us. If you don't want to listen there, there's a multitude of platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Alexa devices.
Yes.
You can listen to us put near everywhere.
Yeah.
If you are an Apple user, go ahead and rate and review us on the iTunes, because that helps other people find the show.
iTunes.
The iTunes. And if you want to write into the show, you're more than welcome to do so on a Gmail, and that's reviewreviewpod@gmail.com.
Yes.
That's everything, JT.
Oh, good.
So, don't forget to vote for the tourney. The last two entries of the tourney.
The Lone Ranger versus Joe Dirt.
So put in your votes. Cast your votes. It's important to vote, people. Votes. If you don't vote for anything, vote for this.
And speaking of votes are pretty heavy on our next two shows coming up.
Yes.
For our Monday ep. Well, before we get into that, for Halloween, we wanted to find a suitable horror film to talk about on Spooky Halloween night.
Ooh.
And we brought it up last show that we had a poll out there with 2 suggestions from our fans and 2 suggestions from us. And our suggestions don't mean shit because they just got the lowest votes.
They got nothing.
So we thought for fun, we would do the film that got the second most votes. And then we do the number 1 pick for our main show next week on Halloween night.
Yes.
So for Monday, to keep you in the Halloween spirit, we're doing our number 2 pick, which was the pick from Dino Neilman himself, Hereditary.
Yes.
I am on pins and needles to know what Troy thinks of this, because it's definitely one of those where Troy either finds reasons to kind of like it or absolutely fucking hate it.
Yeah.
It literally could be either or, and I cannot wait to figure it out. So make sure you tune in on a Monday to find out what Troy thinks of Hereditary.
Yes. And then Thursday we'll be hitting up the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yes, the 2004 Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, that won the poll, so we'll be doing that, diving back into that Zack Snyder vehicle.
And then our first show in November, we're going to finally do it. Review, Turn to Random Movies 3. We're doing Falling Down.
Great.
Finally.
Finally.
It's been a while.
Great.
But we're doing it. Falling Down for our first show in
Great.
November.
Great.
So there you go. All lined up. We'll see where this road takes us.
Perfect. So, with all that information digested, I will see you Monday.
Oh, I will see you Monday.
Oh.
But will you see me, spooky?
Ooh, boy. I have been Troy to the Max Extreme.
I was drinking my beer by the GT3K.
And until Monday, we are off.